Alright y'all, so getting right into it, you're gonna see me prepping all of my vegetables. And before we go any further, because it's already getting cringe, just know that I have a personal chef, so I don't normally do all this cutting and cooking. Unfortunately, I recently moved and she could not move with me, and she told me I was not allowed to get another chef, so I have to do all the work myself. So yes, if it looks like my cutting is wrong, that's because it is. And if you have something to say about it, just don't. So here's what my veggies look once I'm finished cutting them. Just some cabbage, bell pepper, onion, and zucchini. I'm gonna go ahead and get those in the pan with some oil and cook those down a little bit before I add all of my seasonings. So I'm making sure that all my veggies are coated in oil. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add the seasonings of my choice. Use whatever you want, but let me tell you, the Cajun seasoning is definitely needed. It adds just an extra flavor to it. But yeah, so once you get all your seasonings on there, just let them cook down. Now I'm adding my noodles. I'm using udon noodles just because it's my favorite type. They're the easiest to cook because they're basically already cooked. Adding in my soy sauce. You can really use as much as you want. Just keep in mind that it has a lot of salt, a big chunk of garlic, and my chili sauce. I like to use a lot of chili sauce, brings the most flavor, but you can use sesame oil, fish oil, sesame sauce, teriyaki. And because the chili sauce has so much vinegar, I do add some sugar, and that's about it. So this is how it came out. I ended up pairing it with some veggie egg rolls from the frozen section in Walmart. Just pop them in the oven and they're done within like 20 minutes. But yeah, this meal was super hearty, super savory, but also sweet because of those orange bell peppers. And I really enjoyed it. I actually ended up eating it for dinner and lunch the next day. So I'm starting with my rice. Just go ahead and make as much rice for you. I wanted to make sure I could eat this for 2 days. Then I'm gonna just begin my sauteed spinach. So I have some olive oil and garlic. I get a little out of hand with the garlic. I do like to add a lot of garlic juice. Clearly I started to make a little bit of a mess. Then I'm just gonna add my spinach and make more of a mess, obviously. So now I'm just going to dice up my zucchini. I'm making sure that I cut off the skin. If you have a peeler, obviously you would want to use that. But I am rich in spirit, not kitchen appliances, so that's why you see me just doing the most and trying to get the skin off. But you're going to want to make sure that you cut all the veggies really, really small, especially if you don't have a food processor like me, because these are going to be patties, so you don't want any like super huge chunks in the patties. Alrighty, so now that you have the veggies done, you're going to bring in the main character, which is the chickpeas. I ended up splitting this into 2 different bowls. Definitely make sure that you keep the water, but you don't have to keep as much water as me because you do want the patties to be firm. Add in whatever seasonings that you would like. So once you add your seasonings, you're going to want to go ahead and mash up your chickpeas and then add your cilantro, onion, zucchini, and some corn. You can use canned corn, but this is just what I had in my freezer. Then I went ahead and smashed, I smashed up some whatever those are called because I didn't have any breadcrumbs and I used a hammer. And if that doesn't get you to subscribe, I really don't even know anymore. Like, I don't. Sometimes you just have to get innovative. The breadcrumbs are definitely a necessity to hold everything together, or I guess you could use flour, but after you smash those up, you're gonna put a big handful with the mix and mix that all together. Here's how they look after I formed my patties. I was able to get about 9 patties, and I sprinkled some extra breadcrumbs and some paprika over the top of them, and then I left them in the freezer for about 25 minutes. While they were in the freezer, I did go ahead and start my aioli. I just made it with some mayonnaise, hot sauce, chili sauce, lemon, and some seasonings. So while I was waiting on my patties to get hard, whatever kind of sentence that is, I started to clean up. So I washed some dishes, took out the trash, and wiped down the stove just so that it wouldn't be such a big task in the end. Now that it's been about 25 minutes, let me check on these goddamn garbanzo beans. This is the amount of oil that I used. Don't be a fool like me and keep your oil on like 7 while you're still washing dishes, because then you will get popped at. And that's what happened to me. So rude. So I'm starting my second batch now, and I just wanted to show you how hard it should be. You want to make sure that the patty is really hard because the pieces are chunky. You don't want all the pieces just falling apart in the pan. As you can see, I already have some pieces like falling apart. You really want it to be stable, so make sure that it's all the way frozen. And just cook them in the oil till they're golden brown on both sides, and you will be all set. So I am pouring myself some wine. If you see that cork, no you didn't. Like I said, I'm rich in spirit, not kitchen appliances. If you're still watching right now, comment down below, rich in spirit, cause period. Alright y'all, so this is how my plate ended up coming out. Shout out to Kendra for showing me how to make my plates look this put together and beautiful. If I can say one thing, it is do not sleep on that cilantro, y'all. It really adds a refreshing flavor to the patty. I love the crunchiness from the outside and also from the onions. Everything was good. Y'all know I love garlic, so the spinach was bust down. Yeah, it was just a great meal. Like, I almost cussed. It was so good though. Alright, so moving right into the second meal. I'm not gonna lie, on this day I was really hungry, so I just was speeding through this. You're gonna start with your beans, put the entire can of beans in there, go ahead and mix in your seasonings and just leave that to boil. Then I went ahead and added this frozen elote that I found at Walmart and began to prep the base of the tostada with avocados that I put with garlic salt, some cabbage because I didn't have any lettuce, and some onions. And normally I would also add sour cream before I put the avocados, but I didn't have any this day. And like I said, I was really hungry. I wasn't about to like go to the store or anything like that. So now I'm just showing you guys how I mash up the beans before I put them on. Then I added some cilantro and cheese. And yeah, like I said, I was really hungry, so this is going by really fast, but this is the end result, you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you end up making any of those things, just let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.